Hey, Big Charles, Irish, and David. Big Charles gets the gold star, and Irish UMC vet gets the silver, and David gets the bronze. Frank Bird gets to be the sheriff. John, Moko, Luke. Luke, howdy. My glasses are dirty. Y'all can't tell that because I got my camera turned off, but I can't. What'd y'all do today? Schultink. Oh yeah, WR Moore Electric LLC. I actually tried to catch you a couple of times in the chat on that other deal. You were saying that you were from Texas or whatever. Oh, hi, Mother in the Wild. I didn't see you sneak in. Well, Scurry County, Texas has a meet and greet tomorrow at noon, or from noon to 5, just so you know. If you're anywhere close, you're welcome to show up. What part of Texas? East, west, south? No, you're not. It's been a long day, Mother in the Wild. Trust me, there's been very little smoking going on because we're doing this whole quitting thing. WR Moore, the question was, what part of Texas are you in? We're having a meet and greet tomorrow from noon to 5 in Scurry County, Texas. There will be an electrician there. Unless that's you. Are you? John Moko, are you from Texas?
Get right on that.
What is that?
Mother in the Wild, we can make it send a jet.
Yeah, I know where the airport is, but there was a time when I knew a guy that might have sent you one. But alas, he passed. And chances are, within a week of this one, we will post the next one. We will do a few more reminders or whatever. it was supposed to be a failure to see if there was anybody, because everybody says they want meet and greets in Texas, but nobody is got this out there on it's on Viking Preparedness Patreon account. It's on the Revolting Men. It's been mentioned on the Sasquatch, on SOS. It's all over my channel. I posted it all over the place, and I've had very few responses from the state of Texas on people that even want to know the information about it. So, makes you wonder. Because somebody organized a meet and greet in Dallas, Texas, I'd drive to Dallas, Texas. Somebody organized a meet and greet in Amarillo, I'd drive to Amarillo. If somebody organized a meet and greet in San Angelo, Austin, I would have to decline Austin because it's too blue down there for me. That's why we're doing it here. We're an equal distance from everywhere in the state. And, we had to pick a time to post it, but anybody that got me in the email, they were given the option to come down today, and we had a place for them to RV overnight. So, I'm not real big on selling the idea of coming to see if you're serious about wanting to organize or whatever. Not necessarily organize, the wrong word. To start networking, there you go. Then you'll get in touch with somebody. Hey, Just Aid, Savage, LS, Chipper. Who else snuck in? And so that's why I don't go to Dallas or Austin or Houston, or I try to stay out of Lubbock and Abilene. San Angelo hadn't got real bad yet. It's getting bad. But like San Antonio, good God, you could die trying to drive across that town. Well, if everybody hadn't figured out that I live in Scurry County, Scurry County, Texas, it's like right in the middle of everything. Trust me. Then they hadn't been trying to find out much about me. Scurry, yes. Two counties below Lubbock. From Meyer County seat, it's 94 miles to Lubbock, 98 miles to San Angelo, 93 miles from Abilene, 98 to Midland, Odessa. Like I said, we're right in the middle of it. And for whatever reason, there's nothing big going the other direction. It's like a big, giant dead area out there. There's no towns. Texas is big, but individual intent on getting across it could, you know, I think, what's that, 9 hours from El Paso to here? That ain't nothing. Yep, a dot on the map. We've driven all the way to northern Arkansas just to meet people. Well, we plan on making fairly regular trips to northern Arkansas, honestly. We're going to make more trips to Georgia and Tennessee. There's C-103. I got a blue him. Hold on, dude. I don't care if you want to be one or not. You're gonna makes it easier to spot you. But like C-103, met him in person. I've met I haven't met Savage Survival in person, but I want to. Well, yeah, I'll definitely. If you're going to Georgia, you need to bring your own coffee. That's for sure, for certain. Let's see, I have to get just a airfare over here, but then we're not. We're just gonna keep him. Chipper, met Chipper in person. He's a lot nicer in person than he is on the internet. Met Staff Sergeant Badass and Sippy Cup in person. Met the Revolting Man in person. Met Bob Hansler in person. I met the Wooded Beardsman in person. Met a bunch of people, I can't remember their names. They never did email me or anything, so I guess I didn't create that big of a impression on them. Trying to see if there's anybody else in here that I met in person. Brian Morlock's not in there. I met him in person. Sasquatch, met him in person. Yeah, Brian Morlock, he's not in here. We really next, the next time we get to that part of the world, we're going to meet Brian Perkins somehow or another. I guess I have an affinity for Brian's. Brian Morlock, Brian Perkins. Might even go all the way up to Kentucky and meet the Wild family up there. Inspired John. Hey, Inspired John. You're new in here. I mean, I've seen you. I've been in your live streams before, but never seen you over here. We'll do a foraging video together. See if we can find some of them wild bird eggs laying around on the ground or something. Eliza. Yeah, that works. Now, something y'all need to know about Chipper is he puts on airs, but when he meets you, the first thing he's going to want you to do is give him a big, burly man hug and kiss him right on the side of the face. Plant your lips right on his cheek and just mwah, give him a kiss. That's what he lives for.
Ooh, Lily's moving up in the world.
Ooh, look at there. Got a P.O. box and everything. Wild golf eggs in your pasture. Somebody's been practicing them. See what you do is
Do you see what Jay said?
Jay. Yeah, probably. See what you do, Savage. You feed the dogs to the kids to the cat, the lizards to the rabbit, and then cut the rabbits go, and then you can go wherever you want to. Did you ever get your hula hoop made, Chipper?
I saw one today have flashing lights on it. I started and I was like, oh, he really needs that one.
Yeah, we found one, or the missus found one at Wally World. It when you shook it, it had lights that light up. Hey, Trazel, what's cracking? Walked around for 2 days with that knife strapped to me. That's just going to be a weird ship. But I guess we drive it up there. Have you tried going into the toy section at Walmart? I'm just asking, boss. And see, Mike, if we'd have known you in that part of the world, we had time then. I mean, we were in no big hurry to get home. We actually ran out of people to run into, so we just mashed the gas and came on home. You started keto? Excellent. Well, sounds like you got an animal problem then, Savage. There's nothing I can do to help you on all that. Can't get one bunch to eat the other bunch. You're just stuck with them. That's possible too. Or maybe they just all really like hula hoops. Lily, I dropped 48 pounds on the keto diet before you popped onto my channel. I was a little fluffy. I'm right at 174 pounds, 175 right now, and you do the math. I was killing my own knees. I didn't have to do much to it, no, sir. Trey, it sharpened right up. I haven't used it much, but I started to use it to butcher the chickens today. We butchered 9. Is that what you said? 9 chickens? Butchered 9 chickens out today. Yeah, the Savage's dog does not like the sound of my voice. But y'all may chat amongst yourselves. I'll have to go get a cup of coffee. No, it's all right, buddy. I got it. I'll make this, bro. Thank you. I'll let y'all see my smiling face just because I'm a nice person. Or y'all want me to leave the camera turned off? I'll take that vote.
We went to Huntsville.
Yeah, we went to Huntsville.
Isn't that where we had lunch?
Yeah, we were in Huntsville. No, that was Huntsville, Alabama. Is there a Huntsville, Tennessee?
Yes.
But we still drove through it, I think.
Huntsville, isn't that where we turned to go to Guns?
I think so. I don't know. We were all over the state, though. Your dog needs a face to the sound. Well, that's not giving. That's because I'm on the wrong page. Hold on. I get this. This is actually pretty confusing. If y'all have never done this, it's a little different. There we go. Now I can see y'all at the same time, or y'all will see each other at the same time. Something. There y'all are. Making something. But can't let y'all see what it is. I'm not making a video on it, so I don't guess it really matters that much. But I need one, so I'm making one. Kind of like I made the one for the wife. Ish. It'll work out. It's gonna take days. My wife hates this hat. That's the only reason I wear it. I don't know why she hates it. I think she hates it when I do stuff that makes me look really pretty because she's afraid I'm going to be stole away by some young filly. Is that right, bud? Is that it? Did I figure it out? I did, didn't I? Got y'all figured out now. Either that or she thinks it makes me look like a hoe hen. This is the kind of hat you wear when you're outside all the time. Well, it's the only one I can get away with. I've tried to wear the really big ones that are actually decent shade, but the wind blows too much. Man, my next giveaway, I'm going to have to limit it to inside the United States. Do you have any idea how big a pain in the butt it is to mail something overseas? Or across the border? That would probably do it. Why do I have my hat on indoors? Because it's my house. Not a veteran. Didn't learn that whole hat off in the house thing.
My lady banned me from one service with my color.
Yeah, I saw that. Never understood the why you take your hat off in the house thing. You just got to remember to put it on when you go back out. And I never go in and out the same door twice. So I'd always be having to go find the hat rack. I mean, either that or I'd have to have more than one hat. There's a church here in town that I really enjoy the pastor and the preaching and the singing. But they wear their hats during service. And, well, yeah, I just can't go there. Take my hat off while I'm eating. I don't eat with my hat on. Does that count? Well, unless I'm eating outside, then I can leave my hat on. Hey, Sam. Yeah, well, it's a sort of Baptist church. It's supposed to be a Baptist church, but 90% of your Baptist churches, they don't want their men covered in church. But yet they're not. They say they're not under the law, but the whole not wearing your hat in church comes from the Old Testament. So I don't know. I'm so confused. The whole women wearing scarves in church is Old Testament. So, it's just really hard to figure out what the rules are.
Sorry, take my hat off when I'm getting a haircut.
You what?
Trey, take my hat off when I'm.
Well, I'm getting, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. How bad's my hair? I might leave it off. Try not to uncover my hair too much. That way, if there's anybody out there jealous of my, as of yet, still, well, I ain't gonna lie and tell everybody I got a full head of hair. That's for sure. I got about twice as much forehead as I was born with. So, well, not twice, maybe a quarter more, something like that. Let's put this. I got a scar in the line of my hair right here, right where my forehead stopped. They used to be up in there an inch. So I've got a little about an inch and a half. So I've got at least an inch more forehead than I had when I was 17. What's that? What am I? It's not just Methodist, Savage. Scroll when I tell you to scroll. Hey, Chandra. And yes, it's but then again, that's Old Testament. So, you know, if dress codes come from the Old Testament, then everything's got to come from the Old Testament. It means I got more exposed skin when the sun comes out. That's what it means, Jay. That's why I think I really think that the whole all the teaching that you don't have to worry about the Torah, you know, the law and the prophets, is I think it's misdirection because the longer it's preached, the more people try to do things like, 100% opposite. Not just because what's what I want or whatever, but it's more and more and more and more and more and more aggressively opposite to the Torah with each generation. Uh, there was a time when a woman wouldn't consider cutting her hair, you know, trimming the dead ends or whatever. And uh, my younger sister used to cut her hair, but she was prone to headaches because her hair was even thicker than mine. So you walk around with 8 pounds of hair on your head, that's a lot of weight. So she wore hers at shoulder length for all growing up. And uh, women are supposed to cover their hair in when they're at the temple church because what is it? A woman's hair is the glory of her or whatever, and she's supposed to cover it because she's not supposed to try to. You're not supposed to try to be. You're not supposed to go to church looking your best. You don't know the honest God's truth. Um, and uh, men are supposed to go before the Lord uncovered to submit to the Lord. The short hair thing came from a discussion as to whether or not men should keep the top of their head shaved, which was actually a uh, tradition of men taught by the Sadducees and Pharisees, which was not actually biblical law because there's no doctrine about your hair, whether it needs to be short or long. There's no rule for it. Now the beard, you're you know you're supposed to grow your beard. I don't grow the beard for religious reasons. I'm growing the beard because I want to grow the beard. Uh, Used to, a few of us had beards, so we would stick out, but now everybody wears the beards, so you don't stick out so much anymore. Trust me, I've been alive long enough and I've been out in the world long enough. I will trust a 40. Who? All right, Trey. Uh, let me know what's going on, brother. You give him a phone number. Anyway, I trust a guy with a mullet, a guy my age with a mullet, faster than I would trust a guy my age with a church boy haircut. And that's just that. What I missed? Who got a warning? What?
Him and Chandra are just talking.
Oh, okay. Not necessarily. My older brother, the oldest two brothers, still got all their hair. They got gray beards, but other than that, they still got all their hair.
Gross, savage.
Yeah, gross, savage. You watch your beard, okay? Did you grow a beard, Chipper? Seriously? Yep. I had to shave. It killed me to shave, okay? And I had to shave every flipping day for the oil field. I'm not in the oil field anymore. I can grow a beard if I want to. Beardy.
Got that little post. The ones that aren't disgusting.
You want to kiss? It's the same hair. It's just shorter. Technically, whatever. I wish all my beard grew like these two little sections right here. These grow nice and wavy and straight down my face. The rest of it all grows like Velcro. So get out of the shower, played around with it the other day and blow dried it. And it's actually pretty long if it wasn't so bunched up.
Have you read Dave Canterbury's Witchcraft book box set?
Have you read Dave Canterbury's Bushcraft book box set? Oh no, that's the Lily. I haven't read any Dave Canterbury stuff. I bet I've watched enough of him to know that I know everything he knows. That's not entirely true, but I actually do watch some of his stuff. The new series he's got, the 5 Minutes to Better Bushcraft, some of that stuff's actually pretty good. I don't know, W.R. Moore, do you have a question? I'll put that to you. W.R. Moore Electric LLC, what question do you have to ask of me? It's mostly me interacting with you people interacting with each other. I tried to have topics, but nobody would ever listen to me. So now I just, whenever somebody brings something up over here, I talk about it. We get on some pretty good things sometimes. Nobody's brought up toilet paper yet. Yes, I do keep my mustache trimmed. If my wife cannot see my bottom lip, I will not be allowed to stay in the house. I have to trim it about twice a week. It grows way faster than the rest of my facial hair. Robert doesn't know I'm live. Hold on. He doesn't know. Hold on. Y'all, play along. Welcome to the West S After Show. How may I help you? Y'all tell Rob no. You're doing it with me. I could put you on speaker and you can talk to everybody. You want to do that? Hold on. Here you go. Hold on. Tell everybody hi.
Hi, everybody.
Tell them who you are.
Everybody is having a good evening. I am on the way home, driving down a country road right now.
All right. Y'all, that's Rob. And he's telling y'all hi. And he's driving while talking on the phone. So, what time are you going to be here tomorrow?
They all said hi, Rob.
All right.
So Rob, they all said hi.
They all said hi back, Rob. They're waving like crazy. What? That's fine. Well, I can tell you right now, some dummy forgot he did not buy a single loaf of bread.
They sell it at the store. We'll get it tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that'll work. And see, I wish I'd have thought of that. Man, we slaughtered chicken today. I was thinking about making some chicken and rice. We could have just had chicken, rice, beans, and sandwiches. We could have had all kinds of food. But that'll work. Hey, whenever you get to the house to jump in, I'll still be on here. All right. Love you, brother. Bye. Thank you, ma'am. You're a fine, fine lady. That's Rob Thanis. He's my friend. He's one of those guys that met me and wasn't as scared. And he let me go back again. He's let me stay at his house. He's a nice person. Probably a poor judge of character, but he's a nice person. What a mess. What a mess. Drinking coffee with your friend Jack. So I'd go get one of them Dr. Peppers and throw some ice and bourbon and Dr. Pepper in a glass.
Have you heard of Bliss Pipes?
Wizzy wipes? No, I have not. Hey, when did you get in here, Zach? Oh. Revolting Man, I was at a garage sale here a couple months ago, and I didn't even notice what all the stuff was. The guy threw a number out there. I had that much change in my pocket, so I bought this whole stack of camping gear. Uh, I got 2 surfboards. Don't know what I need with surfboards. 2 body boards. Those were claimed by my grandchildren. Uh, 4 sleeping bags, 2 ground mats, and a junky little tent. And I think it was like $30. But I never checked any of it out. 2 of the sleeping bags are I forget the name brand or whatever, but I came in and Googled them or whatever. They're $50 a piece for the 2 sleeping bags, and they hadn't even been used. The guy was clearing out a storage shed or whatever. The one surfboard, like $200-300 or something like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the surfboard. Hey, you give the surfboard to your grandkids, and they get out and they paddle around on them like little, whatever you call it, kayak thingies. They work fine when you're 8 or 9 or 10, apparently. These people had moved down from Central or Northern California or something like that, and put all the stuff in storage, and then they left. And dude, he had lots of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff. Little round papers. Oh, they're on the. There's a box out there. You want me to go get you one? Okay. I forget what they're called. The little.
That's what they were saying. I was gonna say, is it?
But you put like a tablespoon of water on them and they explode. Are those the ones y'all are talking about?
It says squeezy wipes are a tablet the size of a quarter. Drop a little water on it and boom. That's probably what those are.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing. You put a little water on them and boom, you got a wet wipe. Now I've been.
Oh, yeah, and it said
Yeah, those things are cool as crap. I'll play with a couple of them. I haven't wiped my butt with them yet. You having to leave us, David? Have a good night, brother. There you go. Just make sure you limit it to the United States, the Revolting Man, because trust me, it's a pain in the butt to ship something overseas or to Canada or Mexico. My next thing I want to try to build is a makeshift sun oven to see if I can do it. Would you people actually be interested in seeing how I would build an improvised smoker or dehydrator? I mean, I just take it for granted that nobody's going to want to do stuff the way I would do it. I mean, even though it works or whatever, I just always assume that people got better things to do than MacGyver stuff and roll with it like that. There's a little more to the solar oven than that, but not a lot. You know, there's the whole flat black paint. And you've got to be able to angle the light into it. Yada, yada, yada. It's all. Actually, few sticks and some yucca stems and stuff, and I can make a pretty wicked little smoker. As a general rule around here, when you're smoking stuff, the weather's either cold enough that the flies are gone or hot enough that you don't need to produce heat. You just need to produce the smoke and airflow. So. I don't know. Who you tried to trade a stove to? I think you might be talking to Just Aid. What's Just Aid? I'm not finding Just Aid. Why am I not finding Just Aid's comment? Is he doing that retracting stuff already?
He said as long as you talk.
Did I not make?
Tonight.
Well, yeah, I was just. Did I not make that? There he is. Just.
That which says, I would like to see you build a permanent fight hole on your property west and maybe a guard tower.
You have to go to Rob's channel for that. I've already built I didn't video it, but I've got a fight hole back there. That was one of my earliest preps. Believe it or not, me and my grandson built it. We dug out the top of a knoll, and there's room for 6 people to lay down on their belly and fight behind 3 foot of dirt. Took a lot of work. It's all grown up now. Is it propane or gasoline? Or what, camp stove stuff, whatever that stuff's called. Thank you, Big Charles. So North Texas, you talking Dallas area more, or you talking, see, when I say North Texas, I'm talking the Panhandle.
You're talking Amarillo. He's
Yeah.
talking north of Dallas.
North of Dallas.
He said he was like just on the other side of Dallas. I don't know if he said southwest or north.
Oh, well, that's not a bad part of the state, except for the whole part where he's close to Dallas, probably. So he's on Seagerville side?
I don't know if he's down by Seagerville or up by
Somewhere around Mount Pleasant or something.
where is that?
Plano, well, Plano or
Where
Denton.
the kids go.
Yeah.
To you relative.
I bought one of those Czechoslovakian backpack thingies. I'm trying to get your general location, but she said it's the other place. So, I was actually looking Just Aid to find some because the ones that are old, like that make the berries or whatever, the petals are actually kind of tough. You've got to find the younger ones or whatever for them to be good. I'm actually trying to locate some of the thornless cactus, and I want to get them to propagate on my property because then you don't have to worry about the whatever the thing, the freaking stickers, glaucids. You don't have to worry about them if you plant these. And I've found a couple of them. It's just I know one restaurant here in town. He's got his property completely encompassed with thornless cactus. And then you only have to break off a few ears and put them in the dirt. They'll grow on their own then. Yeah, people would have a heart attack if they saw how mine was actually out the house. Every time we see the bamboo, it's like on the wrong side of the road or it's in the rearview mirror. I want to get that stuff started in my gray water. $150 from Amarillo, that could be a lot of places, Frank. There's going to be people there. I'm not sure that there's going to be that many people drawn in from YouTube. A few of the ones that said they were going to make it, they've had work issues and stuff come up. But there's actually more localish people than I had anticipated. That's going to be one of the old ones there, Revolting Man. Oh, that's a pretty part of the state, Frank. Oh, there's video, Rob. I got the camera turned off. Hold on. It's on Hangout, so I can like hide myself if I want to do something morally irresponsible or whatever. What Savage said. And honestly, Revolting Man, I'd take it if I didn't already have. I have 2 of the gasoline ones and 2 propane ones. I'm set on the Coleman camp stoves. I'm good. If I did not check my internet out there. Maybe not. If my internet is supported in that part of the world, yes. If not, I'll just do recording and stuff. I actually was supposed to print out those little question and answer sheets or whatever, but I'm actually wishing I could get my hands on one of the diesel stoves. Diesel or kerosene stoves, because I honestly think you could use whatever in them, just like you can a car, you know, a diesel engine. I've got to check and make sure it's still operational, but I've got a Christmas tree that's regulated, and you screw it onto the propane bottle, and it's got a tower that's regulated, but it's got I think 4 attachment points that you can run hoses to different equipment. So you can run all of your Coleman camp gear off of one of the bigger propane bottles. You don't have to have the little bottles. You can run it off the Christmas tree. You know, and even on top of it, I mean, you can set your propane bottle up, and on the very top of it has a place to screw the propane lantern directly on top of the Christmas tree. And then you've got basically an endless supply of propane going to your, not endless, but you know what I mean. You got your lamp is on top of a pedestal with plenty of gas. I prefer, believe it or not, I actually prefer the kerosene lanterns to the propane lanterns. They don't put out as much light, but it's a yellow light, and you don't have to deal with the bugs as much. And you can actually run the lantern fuel that has some of the citronella in it, and it even helps a little bit more. I don't know what the exponent is, but isn't that the same thing? Doesn't it take the camp fuel and you just pressure it up? That's the only thing on the camp fuel ones, is you've got to remember to keep your pressure regulated so your fire will keep going. And see the Coleman, the ones with the little socks, the little filaments or whatever. I mean, they put out a butt ton of light. The only problem is it's white light, and white light brings in every insect that can see it. They're going to come to it. Then it's a good. If I walk out there and got it, I probably got the same one. But like I say, the reason I like the kerosene is because, I mean, it's low light, but it's a low yellow light, which is a lot easier on your eyes, and it doesn't attract the insects. And for what we're all trying to do, we don't want to light up the entire countryside. Okay, we want to get enough light to do what we need to do, and that's it. You don't I bought this flat headlamp to replace that one in my bug out bag that went bad. And there was a 50 lumens, there was 100 lumens, and there was 150 lumens. I was like, oh, we'll just do the 100. Stupid thing's too bright. If I saw this walking through the trees, I would just aim 2 inches behind it and 2 inches below it and pull the trigger, and then guess what? I would have their stuff.
Why is foaming as good? Just like every product.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff.
Quality goes down, the price goes up.
Yeah. The older Coleman stuff is pretty good. Hard to get to. A lot of the, like, if you can get the stuff that was made in the United States of America, the tolerances are a lot closer and the quality control was a lot higher. You know, yeah, but I mean, realistically, in a a survival situation where you're like out in the woods and you want somebody to find you or whatever, 500, 600, 700 lumens or whatever, 1100, that'd be a good thing because you got to put it on your head pointing up and just walk around in a circle. And at night they're going to be able to find you even if there's a canopy. But when you're just wanting to get something out of your rucksack so you can finish setting up your coal camp, you don't want to have to cycle. My old one, I could choose, low red, low white light, or high. I just had to remember what I was doing. And quite honestly, walking around in the bushes and stuff, just trying to keep from stepping on a rattlesnake or whatever, red light's fine. And it's not as visible at a distance unless it's, shining directly at the individual. It's still visible. I'm not saying you go invisible. I'm just saying white light shows up. The human brain reacts, to the visual stimulation of white light faster than other lights. And that don't eat where you sleep, that means 50 to 100 yards. That doesn't mean 15 or 20 paces. That means keep your sleeping spot and your eating spot apart. And you're not worried about, prudence dictates that you don't want bears coming into your camp, okay? Or cougars or wolves or jackalopes or yetis or Sasquatches or whatever. I mean, you don't want that stuff coming in to see what they smell. Is that bacon? No. Let's go see if that's bacon. You don't want that. So you cook far enough away, you can hear somebody stomping through the trees going to where you were eating, and they're going to where you were eating, not to where you're sleeping. Okay? That's 50 to 100 yards away. That sounds like a lot, but we are trying to stay alive. All right, Zach. Thanks for stopping by, brother. I will do my best if to put up a live stream tomorrow. I don't know how much interaction I'll be able to do because of the little bitty chat on the screen, but at the very least, we'll have us an after action report. Yeah, I should probably charge all my stinking batteries and stuff.
Well, after the property, I know it was working for help.
And sets, I didn't check mine when I was out there or anything. I should have tried to load a video and that would have told me if it would work, but I didn't even think about it. Yeah, I'm just gonna take my Mountain Man. Hello, Mountain Man. What was I gonna say? Something important. Oh, the sleeping during the daytime is probably the prudent thing to do in my part of the world, because most of the things that are going to get you, as a general rule, are more active at night. But the one thing that'll get you faster than anything around here are active equally in the daytime and the nighttime. The thing about it is, getting any real sleep in the daytime in this part of the world is going to be hard to do. Getting up off the ground is probably one of the biggest favors you can do yourself around here. And that's not always the easiest thing to do in the world. I mean, it sounds easy if you say it fast. Well, just make your camp up off the ground. All right. You don't have very, what she said, and the only place we got decent sized trees for anything like that are down by the creek beds and stuff. And you don't really want to camp down at the creek bed. That's where everything's got to go. They're going to be going to the same water you're trying to camp by. That's another thing. You don't build your camp anywhere close to a game trail that's anywhere close to water. You hack your way into the thicket and you build your little sleepy hidey hole place in the thicket, because that way the bobcat or the jaguar or the feral hog or whatever isn't going to find you worth it. About the only thing you have to worry about are the Slytherins and stuff, and the odd scorpion or black widow or tarantula or something. And tarantula that just, ooh, look, groceries. You burn the hair off of them first and kill them, of course. And make sure you got ketchup or something, because they're not good. You can eat them, but they don't taste good. The texture doesn't feel good. Nothing about eating a tarantula is enjoyable. And you people are not worth a video on it. If y'all want somebody to eat a tarantula, y'all go have to Google that and get somebody else to show you how you do it. I'm gonna have to be pretty stinking hungry to do that one again. It's like scorpions. I mean, it's like a mouthful of squishy dirt. They're disgusting. Gun sneak in here.
Yep.
Oh, we're talking about stealth camping and such. I don't know. Let's see. Bob Hansler got rattlesnake bit in the daytime. You got got snake bit in the daytime. Now the one that almost got me was nighttime. That one almost stepped on this summer down there, and the bottom was daytime. That spastic one that I had to shoot its face off, that was daytime. Sister got hit on the leg with that brown recluse, daytime. Scorpions sting you at night. I'll give them that. Wasp stings are usually in the daytime. Now, hogs and cougars and bobcat and coyote get real active after night. That's why you want something. That's something you can do something about. There's no way to keep a rattlesnake.
Are not rare.
From where?
In the city.
Maybe you must be living inside the city limits, brother. Trust me, they are not rare around here. There are, if I had to hazard a guess, if we checked every clump of weeds, every abandoned storm cellar, under every building, under every pile of rocks, in every old abandoned badger hole and stuff, within 400 yards of my house, say 500, give myself some slack here, within 500 yards of my house, I would be willing to bet we could come up with at least 50 snakes. At least 50 snakes. Probably closer to 150 snakes. I walked, what was it, 300 yards? 300 yards here a while back. I killed 4 snakes in 300 yards. And I walked for 300 yards. I walked 150 yards over here and 150 yards back. And in 300 yards, there was nothing but snakes. What I killed, how many we killed? We killed 3 on the front porch, 4 in the back. There's 7. Killed 7 rattlesnakes on my porch this summer. That's something else I get confused about. I watched one wildcrafter get ready to make a rock oven on one of his videos today. And I about had a heart attack because he walked up to a big rock and there's a little shelf under it. You can see where it's cracked out and stuff. It probably goes back up in there 16, 18 inches. And he reached down there and he put his hands and grabbed the weeds and stuff right there at that crack and started pulling the weeds out to clear an area to start a fire. I flinched, fully expecting to see him drag out a rattlesnake. And then it occurred to me he's in Canada. Then I have to worry about that. The whole time Chris was down here, I was scared to death he was going to just reach over and grab a log without kicking it or rolling it first to make sure that he wasn't going to get a handful of scorpion or, 2 big old puncture wounds attached to a baby rattler. It's, and they don't even have that many snakes down there. The whole time I was down there kicking around, uh, saw one snake and it was in a rattlesnake. Saw one rattlesnake and it was in a cage. Now I saw several water snakes, but didn't see any cottonmouth or water moccasins or nothing.
I go to the Pioneer Community, see.
Sea Torque. Hello, Sea Torque and High Desert. But anyway, yeah, rattlesnakes. But we have the Roundup. What? No, I didn't even check the count. I don't know how many snakes I got this year.
They've shut down nearly all of them, but the one at Sweetwater.
And that's the problem. And I mean, nobody. They're not paying as much for the snakes. I wouldn't trap them right now for what they pay.
Oh, y'all can't do those around there. That's cool for the snakes. And so most of them shut down. And I mean, that's seriously what happened.
That's so lame. I mean, why don't they snowflake somewhere else? We don't even like snow in this part of the world.
I don't know what that ILG.
I'm good, Gosu. I don't know how to say your thing. That's actually a pretty good number. Usually they're bullfrog.
Oh, tomorrow. Is he gonna try to go to the one in October though?
Are you going to try to make the one in October trying? I catch and bring bull snakes home, but they get eradicated pretty regular. We had to get rid of a lot of the coach whips and stuff too, because they were helping themselves to the baby chickens. Yeah, I use the missus for a scorpion detector. If she starts screaming and jumps out of bed, I know there's a scorpion in bed. So I get out of bed. I understand that. Yes, sir. We uh, the little ribbon of CRP behind me has 2 or 3 snake dens on it, and from the what do you call it? Railway is close enough that they can spread out. And I don't know how in Texas the railroad has like a right of way that's 100 yards wide everywhere, and it's always grown up. So it's got mice and rabbits and lizards and everything that rattlesnakes love. And actually, the one right over here is there's places it's probably what 200 yards wide, 200 yards wide and 20, 30 miles long, and then it drops off in the canyons. Same thing the other way, swings wide and drops off in the canyon. They usually don't go off until after she winds up with a little red spot. Hello, Sergeant Smith. Long time no see. Guns, I think you'd have a blast out here. It is hard. Let me explain something to you, Sergeant. I'm reading Sergeant Smith. Anyway, hello, Sergeant Smith again. But Guns, let me explain something to you. When you're going to Wyoming, and you finally get out of that godforsaken state, Colorado, and you get into the open country around Laramie and stuff, in Cheyenne, and you see the rolling hills with all the grass, and you see the mountains coming up in the background. You're like, oh man, this is the most beautiful thing ever. And then it starts turning into desert, like this scrubby, no grass, just little bushes and cactuses. You're like, oh, I turned back into Texas. And you can see the mountains. And then there's a giant lake out in the middle of the desert. You're like, wow, this is cool. And then the mountains keep getting closer and closer, and you're like, where are the trees? There's supposed to be trees. And you notice one or two little trees on the side of this big giant rock. You're like, well, this sucks. Then you actually go into the canyon. And it's sheer rock walls. 100, 200 foot, 300 foot high either side of you. And they just steady getting higher as you're going. With pine trees just shooting up in every little crevice throughout the deal. There's a river running beside you that has boulders that are bigger than your house just sitting down there. You can see the people fly fishing. You can hear the water running over the road noise your truck is making. And you're winding through this little narrow road, actually driving through holes they've cut in the rock. And every time you drive through one of these little tunnels, it gets greener and there's more pine trees. And the river's a little wider and a little deeper. And then when you break out of the Wind River Canyon, all of a sudden it opens up into these green, grass-covered foothills, if you will, sloping up to these pine tree covered mountains with giant rocks jutting up out of the top. And you're like, okay, I'm home. And you've got another 150, 200 miles, I guess, to your destination. And you've got to drive through all these little towns with these really weird names. And there's just mountain after mountain, valley after valley, river after river. It's really hard to go back into that canyon the other direction and go home. So, yeah. Especially when you realize you got to drive through Colorado again. Sure, there's parts of Colorado that are fine. Yeah, the meet is actually the 14th. The festival is the 13th and the 14th, but the actual meet is the 14th. Okay. So if you can only make one day, it needs to be the 14th. Or if you want to make both days and then make the meet the second day, that's fine too. There's going to be, the people that are having the meet are going to be there overnight. They're going to go for both days. It's the Wind River Canyon. It's not actually a valley, but it opens up into it's a Wind River Canyon that opens up into a valley just outside of, what's that M word that I never can say? Mitstapiti or Mistakismi or Chistatamiti or something like that. I can't remember. We used to go up there every other year. We'd go to Cody, Wyoming, and we'd spend 2 or 3 weeks in Cody, Wyoming, and I would trout fish. And I'd hike, chase moose up the side of the mountain, pick what's that stupid lava glass, volcanic glass, arrowheads up out of the dirt, just laying there. Spear points, knives, arrowheads, just out of black glass, like they were laying all over the place. But the part of Wyoming that I find to be absolutely the most beautiful are the harshest parts of the state. The grasslands around Laramie and Cheyenne and stuff. That has to be the prettiest country ever. But you just can't be there in the wintertime. You'll freeze to death. The wind's relentless. The wind and the snow is a little rough. Oh, that's cool, guy. Have a good night, brother. Whatever you do, don't go to Googling Wyoming when they're all like trying to move and stuff. Good night, Mountain Man. This is me pulling a West S. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee and I'll be right back. If y'all come up with any good questions, y'all think about it right now because it's getting late and I got to get up early in the morning and go set up for hosting and toasting and all that stuff. Ow, my leg. I grabbed my camera bag. An accident. Oh. It's not what the picture showed it was going to be. But it's still kind of cool. I think this is supposed to be like a modular thing. I think there's more parts that go to it. But it's a little rucksack. I think I may make me a new truck bag out of this. But like the strap of my jiggers come off. And I take the shoulder straps off. Oh, weird. Kind of weird in a cool sort of way. Haven't figured out what these little Clipperman jiggers are for yet.
They cut the bottom out of the bag and make it back to kilt.
Back to kilt. Yeah. All right, Uncle Al. Have a good night. I don't know. These little picker up jiggers are designed for something, but I don't know what. I'm probably just gonna rig me up some different whatever. It's got 2 compartments on the inside too. I think that's more of a divider than a compartment. But I can put everything I need gear wise in this to make a go of it. You know, I'd have to come up and there's these little loopy thingies on the bottom that a guy could, you know, you'd have to carry your bedroll on your butt, which is doable. I think that's going to be my next video is how to make a backpack out of your bedroll. Hog hunting is fun. And y'all, that really surprised me, the fact that my wife likes the taste of hog. It really did catch me off guard. She actually asks me when I'm going hog hunting again. Amen. We had one, a little young Tom, fresh off his mama's milk, I guess, get in and went hog wild and killed 20 chickens in one night. His mom had been feeding him chickens for a while. We just didn't figure it out. And then all of a sudden, boom, he came in. You know, we were like, wait, we're down a bunch of chickens. And then boom, we were down a lot of chickens in one night. May have been him and his sister or something, but caught him in the live trap 2 nights later. And haven't had a problem since. Well, we had a few smaller chickens disappear, but that turned out to be at one of the neighbor's barn cats. And that, the whole hunting the dogs with the knife and stuff, or hunting hogs with dogs and a knife. No, I used to have a Catahoula that would nose them up for me, but she would corner them And then when I got close enough, she is like she knew when I was in rifle range or whatever. She would turn the hog and either grab it by the nose or get it to quarter away from me and then let me shoot it. I missed that dog. Some jerkwad in a 4-wheel drive truck ran her over. And he left the road to do it. So yeah, I'd really like to know who he was. He was wearing a prison guard uniform. Know that? Well, barn cats don't make out. The coyotes that live around my house kill them and eat them. Yep. Coyotes are real bad around here about eating barn cats. Promise. That's exactly what happened. I would never lie to you. Don't everybody freak out. All I did was turn the camera off. Uh-huh. You and Bear Grylls probably there, Damon. Bear Grylls is an idiot. I hate that man. How many of you people watch Bear Grylls? How many of y'all got one of them knives? Which actually, okay, the knives are actually okay. They're not trash. And if it had anything but BG on it, I'd think about getting one. Y'all aren't supposed to know what I'm doing, okay? I'm being stealthy. Uh, that learning survival from Bear Grylls is like learning family cooperation skills from the Kardashians. It's not going to work out. Or learning how to polish up your interpersonal relationship skills by watching, what is that show, Big Brother? Or trying to, watching Bear Grylls to learn survival is like watching, what's that day host where all the people come on there and scream at each other. What's that dude's name? She stole my man. I know it's your daddy and everything, but he was my cousin first. That show. I got the DNA to prove it.
Sergeant Smith said he was watching Bear Grylls. That would be cool.
Yeah, Bear Grylls.
If I saw a bear out picking me up, I would just have to stay away from him.
Yeah, Jerry Springer. Learning to survive from Bear Grylls would be like learning how to treat your family from Jerry Springer. No, or Maury. Maury's actually getting pretty bad too. I don't know who Wilco is. He must have the baby daddy. I heard that before. I have trouble catching me with a dead rabbit, though. I guarantee. Yeah. Hey, Bubba. I've seen the Bear Grylls just jump down into the water like that to see if it was deep enough. I'll tell you what, man, I'll hold your beer and you go first. And if you make out all right, I'll walk down that goat path over there and I'll help you get your clothes changed. I can't believe they kept Cody Lundeen around as long as they did on that dual survival, because he was always like, yeah, I know this is stupid and this ain't the way you do it, right? Oh, okay.
Easy trying.
What do you? There's something like that. Exactly. Tried. That's exactly right. Now I know I just picked this snake up out of a swamp full of alligator piss and frog crap, but I'm gonna bite its head off right here. You know, not like I couldn't boil some water and wash it first. But have you seen Cody's house, Jay? That man lives in a mansion. He doesn't. He's not an isolationist in the least bit. Uh, was it the History Channel or the Discovery, whichever channel they were Dual Survival was on or whatever? They tried to make him sound that way, but that's not actually how it works. Mine is too, and I need to break mine out and see if I can weatherproof the top of it. Is there some? Oh, that was weird. Does anybody know if there's a way to? Hey, y'all know I'm smoking.
Sergeant Banks.
All right, good night, Sergeant James. I really do gotta get off here. But does anybody know if there's a way to re-waterproof the top of your tent without making it so stiff you can't work with it? I know. Don't somebody say Flex Seal? Good Lord. There's got to be something. I mean, you'd think you'd be able to buy that refractory that goes on there, that aluminum looking stuff in a spray can or something. I thought oil or the wax, but it's a nylon tent.
Can't see the spray. We tried it. Oh, yeah.
Has anybody used any of that? Because the stuff that we tried made it all sticky and stuff. It's just forever old, Jay. It's 20 years. 20 years and been used regularly for a while. Man, been used that much the last few years, but and it's not bad. It's still a serviceable tent. Just you can see a little bit of daylight through the top of it. All right, I'll try that. I've got two tents, though. I'll probably try it on the secondary, which is the worst of the two, but the least favorite of the tents. Now, there's no tears or cuts or anything in it. It's just, you know,
It's not waterproof.
it's just not 100% waterproof anymore.
Yeah.
Sergeant, that actually works pretty good, honestly. And if you're camping around here in the summertime anyway, trust me, you want a tarp about half again the size of your tent so you can string it over the top of it so you got a little shade buffer between your tent and the sun anyway. And y'all got to realize that I live in the boonies and my Walmart is, you know, one step above Dollar General. Okay. The floor is fine. It's the top. Just, I guess, threadbare might be a better word for it. Yeah, but Savage, I think the deal is I'm trying to reclaim a tent because to replace this tent is going to be like $400, and I don't have $400. The tent I'm talking about, it will comfortably sleep 9 adults, and it's none of this crap about you know, if you pack everybody in like cordwood. We have had as many as 7 children and 4 adults in this tent. Okay, and it's a 2-compartment tent, actually 3. It's got that divider for the one side if you want to use it. We never have. You can stand up. You can stand fully erect and change your clothes in it. It's meant to sit up and live comfortably out of for weeks at a time. When this tent would get set up, it would stay set up for 3, 4, 5, 6 days at a time. What's that?
How big is the roof? No, like 12 by 12 or something.
Yeah, it's 2 12 by 12s. Well, one's
12 by 14.
12 by 14 and then 12 by 12. This is big ass there. It's a big ass tent. We bought it when we were involved in youth and stuff, and we would set it up, and it was actually the girls. You could set it up as 2 separate tents, and the girls and the boys would have separate dressing rooms and everything if they wanted to go swimming or whatever. No, ma'am. I guess you could get a green tarp. Sorry, I said it for somebody else to. All right, Sergeant Smith, be cool, brother. Glad to see you stop by. Really have missed you guys. You're welcome to stop by anytime. That little tent we got, that little 2-man jobber, sleeps great. The only downside, it's hard to get in and out of. And then and it's, as far as what we got it for, it's perfect. Or is it done? What is it, 6 pounds or something like that? It was actually heavier than one of the others, but it's better construction. It's supposed to hold up better, blah, blah, blah. It was more of a neutral, earthy color than stick out like a sore thumb. So I'm guessing that was supposed to be the label should say.
Yes. So what video did she got?
Yeah. How to make a smoker using the stuff in my get out of Dodge bag. What was that other one I just said that I'm going to do? Dadgummit. Now I forgot what that was. Oh, making a backpack out of your bedroll, or making a bedroll that replaces your backpack, which is really not that hard to do. People been doing that for a long time. All right, Tron. You got my email, don't you? PM works too, I guess. You got to be careful. Some of the gear has stuff in it that prevents you from dying it. Not all of it, but some of it does.
Dropping a fake scorpion on the if the missus ever got to take a nap and you did anything.
You know what? If I ever catch the missus taking a nap, definitely not going to wake her up, but I might video it. But that would be just for me because it's going to be like a once in a lifetime thing. Have you ever that little story about the Princess and the Pea or whatever?
I am not.
She is a very light sleeper and requires, she likes to go camping, people. She likes camping. Yet she will get out of.
My friend.
No. She will get out of bed and dust the entire bed because there's a grain of sand in it. No. I'm over there sleeping on rocks and mesquite thorns, and she's sweeping the air mattress off because it's got sand on it. The trick is on the tarps, though, is to actually make a real shelter out of one, you've got to have such a large tarp. Now, you give me a 12 by 24 or something like that, dude, I'll build you a house. Or one of the bigger, what's that one tarp you can take on a loan? What the heck is it? It's like is it 20 by 40 or some stupid thing like that? Some kind of god awful huge thing. But the tarp I carry is I try to keep an 8 by 10 or a 6 by 9. A 6, I can get by with a 6 by 9 tent. But that's exactly what you're doing, is getting by. It's really just in case it starts raining. And honestly, you just get it out of the backpack, get under it, set your butt down on the tarp, and pull the rest of it over your head and ride it out. See you tomorrow, Rob. I'm gonna get off here too. It's almost tomorrow, and I got to be somewhere then. Yeah, but if I'm trying to explain to her about the truth of the universe or whatever, she's like, "What? What are you talking?" Don't lie, Rob. It's crossed your mind. You know it. Don't hide your feelings, brother. Yeah, canvas tarps are heavy. They're quieter though. God, they don't make the noise of these nylon things. I mean, anybody knows what the sound of a tarp in the wind is, they're going to be able to find you. Who's that? Oh, the redneck prepper. Oh, I guess HCP bailed earlier, huh? Well, that's the deal with me. I'm 6'1", Mike, and it's a weight thing. I'm not in my part of the world. If I build a semi-permanent shelter, I'm digging a hole. I'm going to find the side of a hill. Believe it or not, a fence row or something that's been left unattended for a few years is going to be several feet above the rest of the world. Not trying and whatever else, but it you dig a hole, you tarp the top of it to keep the rain out, and then you don't really have to worry about something crawling under you. You know what I mean? So see, those little nylon windbreaker things or whatever that everybody keeps talking about, these nylon tarps or whatever, they would get shredded in my part of the world. Literally everything here has a way to puncture you, either puncture or cut. We have a bush here called cat claw. I'll do a video on cat claw. I'll put a jacket and some welding gloves or something on. I'll stick my hand in that cat claw bush, and then I'll try to get it back out. It's not going to happen. If it gets you on your bare skin, you are going to bleed, and you're going to bleed profusely. Every inch and a half on that bush literally has a claw shaped just like a little razor sharp kitten claw. And they dig in and they cut. Seeing here, and we're looking at 9 months out of the year where cold's not an issue. Our big problem here is going to be heat. And the beauty of it is, even in the cold part of the deal, if you dig your shelter, then you're digging down to ground that's warmer. You know, you're actually taking all the cold dirt away. Then you put some hay down, you know, go out, cut some grass stalks or whatever, put you down a couple inches of grass, and put your big 55-gallon trash can liner, or I carry 2 of them, fill those both with hay, and you got a mattress fit for a king. Okay. They're actually quite comfortable. It's a little bit of work, but semi-permanent, long-term. You know, I'm going to hang out at this spot for a week or more. Dig a hole. You dig it in the right place, you don't even have to worry about the water coming in. And there's a lot of tarp options out there. Like I say, I mean, the nylon is just noisy as all get out. If I had my druthers, I would really like to build a I would like a tarp made out of cloth. Some 50-50 cotton nylon stuff. Not real heavy, but just something I could, you know, pour baby oil all over, and maybe not baby oil because of the scent, but, you know, put some oil on it, and you know, it's going to weigh, you know, I'd have to trade my, you know, less than a pound tarp for, you know, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds of tarp. But I don't have the wind noise. I don't have the tear problem. It's reasonably waterproof. But it's not going to make that god-awful noise you get from the windbreaker type tarps or from the little cheap Walmart tarpaulin. It's a softer tone. Canvas is a softer tone. It's not, the sound doesn't travel as far. I really, if I've gotten to the point where I'm living out from under a tarp, I don't want anybody to be able to find me any which way. I don't want them to hear me folding my tent up. I don't want them to hear me stretching my tarp out. Egad, I'm not going to have Velcro on anything. I actually try to limit all my backpacks and stuff to either brass or, believe it or not, plastic zippers. I test the zippers before I buy stuff, and if the zipper's loud, forget it. Velcro, you can hear that for miles. You know, you undo one of these leather things. They're way over there, one of those little leather latches. Don't make any noise at all. Snaps make a lot of noise. In those old plastic deals, I practice opening the plastic clasps on my bug out bag where I can hold them and pull them out slowly so they don't make the. I don't want, when you do stuff, you don't want to make any noise. Well, to a degree, there's some places you can dig underground, some places you can't. Okay. My wife just called it. So I really am getting off here this time. We've been on here, what, 2 hours? Over 2 hours this time. So God bless y'all. Y'all stay alive. Don't die. FYI, meetings tomorrow in Scurry County, Texas. Savannah Community Center. Swing by. Apparently, Rob's decided to bring red beans on top of everything else. So there's plenty of food. Okay? You're welcome to show up. The place will hold 300 people. So we have to go get more food. Grocery store's right up the road. We can make a run. All right? God bless y'all. Y'all stay alive. Do not die. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Or, Patreon, PayPal, all that good stuff. Seriously, I'm going to throw a plug out there. This YouTube stuff costs money. Listen. Okay. Y'all want a t-shirt? Email me and I'll get you a t-shirt. Love you.